Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another match in our coverage of the Crossworld Keysanity Link to the Past tournament. Today's match we have Bonta, the third seed, versus Frostbite3030, 52nd seed, in a loser's bracket round 4 match. Joined on commentary today by Jinxie Girl and P-Train. All yours, you two. Enjoy.
Thank you so much. I am super pumped for this race. I've been so excited all day.
Yeah, this is going to be a really good one. I know both Frostbite and Bonta have a lot of experience with cross keys, so I'm looking for some high quality play here.
Yeah, definitely. So it looks like we are going to be underway fairly soon.
Yeah, both of these runners have come through some pretty tough matches. Of course, this is a loser match, so both the runners do have one loss. So this will unfortunately be an elimination match for one of our runners today. But I know Bonta had to come through Ultima. I know Frostbite I believe, just had a victory over Incoherent. And the winner of this race goes on to face 1UP40. So this should be a pretty good matchup here. And it looks like we are off on Frostbite's side, starting at Link's house, finding a bottle, which is really convenient because if you find Sick Kid, you don't have to backtrack for it. I'm not seeing anything on Bonta's screen. Is that something I need to refresh, or is that on your end as well?
Yeah, Bonta's running. He's setting up for the tree pool where he's going to find some hearts as he's heading into the back of Hyrule Castle. Let's see what our first drop down is. Well, it looks like the Lumberjack with just 10 bombs, although that's kind of nice to find early on when you don't have any. Frostbite getting lucky with some of those 50-50 bomb drops over near Flute Cave.
Wow, Bonta immediately getting a mirror off the Sick Kid there.
Very nice find.
Mirror is one of those S tier items in entrance. It's very nice to have that as early as possible. It's one of those things you either want to see it at the beginning of the seed or you want it to be your go mode item. You never want to get that in the middle of the seed, just because all of your mirror locations are spread all throughout Hyrule.
Yeah, definitely. And finding that before you have a lot of your checks is just, when you can lump everything in Light World and Dark World together, that just makes such efficient routing.
Bonta also getting an 8 bomb drop. Unfortunately, not much so far in South Kakariko here, although we'll see what's in Kingston. Unfortunately, just a big 20.
Yeah, not very exciting.
So we'll get to see what's in Kakariko here. We got a couple of drop downs we can check, a lot of entrances, but we really don't have a whole lot of items. Bonta with the 9 bomb advantage right now. Unless Frostbite gets some money or some bombs, he might run out here. Ooh, Frostbite finding Paradox Cave. That's really
very nice find. That's also 2 other connectors.
Personally, I don't know that I would dive this right now because this is likely going to be a suicide mission to get these items. And then you have to walk all the way back to Kakariko, although he might be taking a gamble that's... I haven't seen the Sanctuary spawn. I don't know if either of them have checked Sanctuary yet. He might be taking a gamble that Sanctuary's in Kakariko, but otherwise it's going to be a long walk to get back here.
Yeah, especially with 3 bombs. This room is extremely tough anyway, and being short on bombs, it seems like it's probably going to be a one-way trip. Single arrow and a map so far for his troubles. Looks like Bonta is going to go ahead and check Paradox as well.
Ooh, Frostbite's got to be very careful with this mini Moldorm right here.
Small key to Turtle Rock and some magic powder. That's actually not terrible to find early on, especially when you have to do low percent for a good portion of the game in cross keys. It's like a nice little safety to have. Looks like we're going to get...
Even more than Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, no, you're fine. I was just gonna say, it looks like we're gonna get to see that sanctuary entrance, and it's vanilla today.
That's not a bad sanctuary spawn at all. One thing I was going to say about the powder is that even better than being able to check the magic bat, like GT is covered in anti-fairies, so you have that option. It's a really nice safety to have early on in entrance.
Oh, definitely. Getting a few
Bonta,
maps. I get a map check earlier on and not have to wait too long to see what our crystals and pendants are today. Our hoarder with just 10 arrows. Nothing very exciting there. And we find the Myers shed over in the lumberjack location.
and it looks like the mirror-locked entrance of Paradox Cave actually connected back to Kakariko. So no real big confusion for Bonta in terms of routing. He just got spit right back out in Kakariko, which is really nice.
Yeah, that's pretty. Sometimes it's cool and sometimes it's bad. Looks like our magic bat is what's going to be behind Aga 1 today. Is Bonta finds Hyrule Castle hanging out in the chicken hut.
Yeah, this is an interesting choice to do this. I think he's got just enough bombs to clear this if he doesn't mess up.
It looks like Frostbite's going to enter Eastern.
Yeah, early Eastern dive can be controversial for some people. Some people like to do it, some people don't. Without something to help me in the dark rooms, I tend to put this off. But certainly could find something useful here.
Yeah, I definitely don't always dip Eastern, but if I find it like this super early in Sphere 1, I definitely will give it a peek because that Moon Pearl early is really nice, especially, or boots. That's nice.
It's a solid find.
Yeah, I always
It's
feel like
probably
if they
very
give
happy
you
with that one.
Eastern early, they kind of want you to dip it. It looks like a small key over on Hyrule, in Hyrule Castle. Sorry, a small key for Hyrule Castle. Yeah, it was a small key for what? I don't know. To Dark Palace. Words are hard. Small key to Turtle Rock in Eastern. Let's see what that hint has for us today. And it's just a joke hint, unfortunately. But I'm not going to check those entrances right away to Hyrule Castle. Going to give Kakariko a little bit more of a look as Frostbite's taking on our first dark room of the game. Ooh, Turtle Rock.
Yeah, you do have mirror, but also there with Bonta not having either a glove or boots, depending on where you get spit out, you might not be able to get back. So generally, taking connectors early on in entrance can be kind of a dubious decision.
Oh yeah, for sure.
And Frostbite making it through that dark room. We'll get to see what's in the anti-fairy chest.
Castle Tower small key.
It's exciting, and we'll at least be able to get both items and find Aga Tower.
Yeah,
We'll have
definitely.
access to
That's
them, depending on
always
how comfortable they are
nice.
with the dark rooms.
Uncle hanging out in Kakariko Village today. $300 just laying out in the middle of the forest as our uncle gives us a shield for our battle. Frostbite gonna check where that drop is before just going in blind, and it's Ganon. We still haven't found that useless fairy, so there is a chance that she could be behind Aga 2 today, which would be very nice for our runners, I think. But when does Cross Keys ever play nice? Oh, and Ganon's Tower.
That's a nice find early.
Yeah,
A
let's
lot
see.
of items
Oh,
here.
a
We don't
big
have
key on
access
that
to all of them.
torch. And Bonta can't get that yet because he hasn't made that dip to Eastern, but I'm sure it won't be long. Frostbite finding our blacksmith located in the fortune teller house. Oh, Kana Samaria in GT.
And so right now that's going to give us access to the tile room, but only the tile room. Without a fire rod, we can't go much farther into this dungeon. Also, 4-heart tile room without an invisibility item is actually not free, so Bonta has to be a little careful here.
And we've just found our second castle tower key in the hammer pegs, as well as the C-shaped house. So AGA 1 might be required.
Yeah, it makes you really wonder what that magic bat is holding.
Yeah, Frostbite going to go ahead and just jump right into this drop because he knows that it's not going to be Ganon. And we find Kakariko well in its vanilla location. Just $50 in that chest 22 room in Ganon's tower that nobody likes to go to. And a compass for Turtle Rock in the well and nothing much else. We do get a mushroom off the bottle vendor though. And Spiral Cave over in Kakariko Village. Now, this is going to be a one-way trip, but it could be a decent connector for our runners.
Yeah, Spiral Cave is another one of those things. I don't know how I feel about doing early. Just because there's so much else around Kakariko to check, and this being a one-way trip, but we'll see what he gets. It's Small Cube to Pod. Ooh, and taking a death, so he does not know where this connector connects to.
Oh, I think
he's
he
got a fairy.
forgot he had a fairy. I'm pretty sure he wanted to die there, but
I wouldn't think so.
alas.
If you walk through the Spiral Cave, you want to check the connector for sure.
Oh, what a great connector that is. Nothing really to write home about on the floating island, but this Bonta having the mirror up on top here is going to give him access to so many things.
Bonta opting to pick up some more safeties there too, between the bombs and the potion.
Yeah, I definitely don't blame him. This Death Mountain access is really nice. We find the top of Spectacle Rock here in the light world. The good side. And with the book.
Book, another one of those items that you really like to get early just because it's so spread out across it. Its usefulness is so spread out.
Ooh, and Sahashla holding that big key. Now,
That's
that
interesting.
key might not be important. We don't know that yet, but knowing where it is definitely great. And the Meyer big key was on the GT torch today.
I think Frostbite's forgetting he has the boots. He's walking out of GT.
Yeah, this is definitely an interesting start. Each runner has something very, very useful in cross keys. Frostbite with those boots and Bonta with that mirror. So this is going to be interesting to see how they route. I feel like Frostbite might have a little bit more of an edge just because that dip to Eastern is kind of gross. So Bonta might not be as inclined to do that.
Yeah,
But
I mean,
I feel like he's definitely going to get that mirror. Just a little piece of love on our tablet today.
Not only is it a dip into Eastern, but it's also like in the top of Lost Woods.
Moon Pearl on top of Spectacle Rock. Bonta has found Moon Pearl on top of Spectacle Rock.
Nice, that's good for him.
Yeah, that early Moon Pearl, his routing is going to be very efficient. He's going to be able to double check both light and dark world locations. Our mirror was on Sick Kid, which is at Hyrule Castle today.
Yeah, that's going to be easy for Frostbite to get. I just hope he does it in the right order. Bonta finding the Big Key to Tower Hera in the what would be the Bonk Rocks in the Dark World Spike Cave.
Yeah, we definitely got really lucky with that Sick Kid. We opened our first bottle in Link's house with a fairy and then went straight to Sick Kid in Hyrule Castle and grabbed that mirror. So definitely pretty awesome. Bonta finding a dark room. Not sure which one that was.
Because Frostbite did GT before doing Hyrule Castle, he's able to do Cane Strats and Escape, which is really working out well for him.
Yeah, for sure. And Bonta finding that dam. It seems like they're finding all the really nice locations to find super early.
Yeah, the only bad thing about finding Dam early is that if you find an early Swamp Palace, you won't be able to check the hint. That's a very minor inconvenience compared to the advantage of, getting the item. Bonta also
Yeah,
finding
definitely.
Laser Bridge in the Old Man Cave. That's a really nice location to find early because it's pretty much a guaranteed access to 4 items if you're comfortable with laser skips.
Yeah, unfortunately, he doesn't have those boots, so his is going to be a little bit more trolly than Frostbite's will be, but definitely both runners are of a caliber where they're not going to worry about these laser skips. Lots of keys to pods so far.
Bonta getting the Big Key to Ice Palace. That's a good one to find early before you dive Ice Palace. It's one of the most inconvenient big chests to have to trek back to.
We are already at 4 pod small keys at 16 minutes into this game.
Still no Big Key, though.
No big key yet, but that is definitely a lot of access. And Bonta with that Kana Samari is just going to go right back and probably check that Crystal Roller room before he pieces out of Turtle Rock here.
Yeah, good dark room navigation for Bonta there. Those rooms look very intimidating, but with the cane and the fact that you're on a track, actually not as bad as it looks. So really no reason not to go ahead and check this. Unfortunately, just 10 arrows, but good to have the peace of mind.
Yeah, definitely. If you're there and you have the access, Frostbite's going to give us a look at where some of these Hyrule Castle exits take us. Looks like one takes us over near Link's house, which isn't too exciting, but perhaps the other one's going to take us somewhere a bit more useful.
Yeah, the only thing you can really say about that is it's faster than walking to Kakariko.
And there is our Dark World access through the left side Hyrule Castle entrance. That's actually really nice to find. You have Hyrule Castle both in Kakariko Village and one over by Link's house, so that's pretty quick Dark World access once Frostbite makes it to that Moon Pearl. Looks like Bonta's going to rescue our old man here in the dark with no weapons, which is gross. One of the easier dark rooms to do, but still gross. And Bonta does it with no trouble at all. Let's see what our old man item has today. Just a little bit of love. And we have our spiky hint on Bonta's side, which is just a joke today, unfortunately.
The Frostbite just ignoring the pokey altogether. Pokey does have a key, but he does have some Turtle Rock keys, so he's just ignoring it for now. Not a bad play, just you got to remember stuff like that later on in the game. So we'll see if Frostbite forgets it or not.
Ooh, potion shop on Death Mountain. Unfortunately, we didn't get a chance to turn in that mushroom yet, but at least knowing where it is definitely helps out. All right, wondering if we're going to get a save and quit here from Bonta to see where the old man connector is today. Now, the old man actually gives us 2 entrances, both in the front and the back, and it looks like the back is Skull Woods today, which is kind of gross, but I think we are going to get a pedestal check, so get your hype in the chat. Just a little bit of love. Rip Ped.
Frostbite doing his best to get that Pokey down with the cane. That is not an easy fight.
No,
So one
not at
advantage
all.
of having the old man connector back here at Skull Woods, it does save quite a lengthy trip back with the fire rod. Bonta having a little bit of issues with the portal there. Skull Woods is not like when you don't have the fire rod to get rid of the block in front of Skull Woods, it can be kind of annoying to find a safe mirror spot there.
Yeah, definitely. Looks like Bonta's going to go ahead and dip Skull Woods, as we're going to see where the front of T-Rock actually takes us today. Flippers and Ganon's Tower from our hint.
That's a useful hint.
In a waterlock location.
Bonta has a cane. I don't know why he's bothering with the statue. I don't know if he realizes he could just drop a block on the switch.
Yeah, I'm sure he knows. Although Cana Samaria is very rarely this early, so it's kind of easy to forget. Same with the bow. Sometimes you get them and you just put it in the back of your head and don't really pay attention to it because you're so used to not having it. Oh, it looks like Frostbite is going to make that play. He's going to have his mirror and his boots. That's going to be a pretty big advantage for him. Bonta's fairly close to that Eastern Palace entrance, but again, a lot of runners don't like to dip Eastern Palace without a big key or the bow.
Yeah, sometimes a runner, well, I don't know, with the mirror being in the Skull Woods area, I wouldn't be surprised if he mirrors and checks a few of these entrances. Which, so he should at least get Eastern. It's just a matter of whether or not he decides he wants to go there or not.
Oh, for sure. He's definitely going to find it, but whether or not he goes through it is going to be the question. Skull Woods with our first sword.
That's super useful in entrance. Even fighter sword. Like, I mean, you always want tempered, but just having a fighter sword makes the game so much easier.
Yeah, he could have been trying to save magic, but there is a full magic pot in the next room, so I think he probably just forgot he has Samaria. And a small key to Ganon's Tower.
Big key to desert in Ganon's Tower, as per a hint on Frostbite screen. So we know that Ganon's Tower has both the flippers and a big key to desert.
Yeah, that's definitely a nice hint. Ganon's Tower seems to have all the goods today, and we have access to it. Unfortunately, we don't have the items we need to clear it, but at least we know there's some good stuff in there.
And it looks like Bonta is doing that mirror, so we'll see how much of the Lost Woods he checks here.
Nothing exciting in the dam, but when Bonta comes to check it, he's going to be able to find what our dam item is. And it looks like Bonta is going to make that dip into Eastern Palace. He is going to be very happy he did that. Frostbite setting up the fake flipper to go up to the witch's hut. I'm sure he's going to turn in that mushroom.
Also, I don't think we've seen the Hylia drop down either.
No, I did not get to see what was on that, but I'm sure we will soon.
So, and this will be one more small convenience for Frostbite, because when he finds that mountain, not only will he have the boots in the mirror, but he also should find the potion shop. It's just a matter of him getting back to Spiral Cave to clear that.
And Bonta grabs his boots. Oh, and the big key is Swamp Palace hanging out in the Lost Thief. So it does look like our useless fairy is going to be behind Aga 2 today.
Yeah, that's really nice. Although it's kind of a double-edged sword, because if there's progression at the top of GT now, like that climb looks a lot less attractive knowing that Aga 2 is useless.
Yeah, thankfully the seed has been giving us some hints, like the flippers and that big key to desert is in there. So if they don't find it on either the right or left side, they're going to know they have to go up anyway. So at least kind of having a couple hints in the back of your mind where there are progressive items in GT, they might be more inclined to make the climb and not feel guilty about it. Turtle Rock main entrance is going to lead to a connector today for us.
Could be absolutely useless. It could be the connector that brings us to the Turtle Rock Bridge. It also could be Desert, Turtle Rock, or Paradox Cave. Although I think we've seen all the Paradox Cave at this point.
I know we've seen 2 for sure. There is our bomb shop. Misery Mire and Tower of Hair are going to be our 5-6 today.
Jury is still out on that Turtle Rock big key being on Sahasrara, whether or not we're going to need that or not.
And our shovel today in the bomb shop. Sorry, in the bombable hut.
In the brewery.
Yeah,
However
there
you
you
say
go.
that word.
Okay, now I have to say it shifts back to Bonta now that he has those boots and that moon pearl. So it's very hard to call leads, especially in cross keys, but base item wise, I feel like Bonta might be a little bit better set up at the moment for his exploration because he's going to be able to lump a lot of stuff together. But that can change so quickly.
Yeah, I mean, and from what I saw in Bonta's stream, from Bonta's trip to Death Mountain, I don't think there were any other connectors on Death Mountain. So far as we know, it's bottlenecked through Spiral Cave, which is kind of nasty. I think Frostbite's only other hope outside of going back to Spiral Cave is if he finds the Old Man Cave.
Ooh, Blind's Head. Very nice find. That's 5 quick items that we can get here. And another Kita pod, as well as Arcana Burna. Looks like we definitely don't have a poverty seed today, as we found several of the 300 rupees.
Yeah, and between 5 keys, as long as you know the hammer yump, that's all the keys you should need to build a full clear pod outside of the big key.
Yeah, definitely. It looks like pod is more than likely going to have something really important for our runners. Let's see what the Curiosity Shop has today. It has Misery Mire. Now, we can't do too terrible much here just because we don't have a fire source, but we do have access to it.
Okay, it looks like Frostbite is making the Spiral Cave play, so this is going to work out well for him.
Yeah, definitely, especially since he got that mirror beforehand, so he's definitely in a good position. Wondering if we're going to get a Cave 45 and a King's Tomb check off Bonta here with that mirror. Sees that big key, knows he's got to go get it.
So that's 2 out of our 3 fetch quest big keys. With both Swamp and the Ice Palace big key. Not technically needed for the dungeon, but certainly useful to have before you dive the dungeon. Skullwood's big key is somewhere out there still. Maybe we'll find that one.
Now, I'm wondering how Frostbite is going to route this. If he's going to go straight over to the Light World old man side, or if he's going to jump down and check this side here, go back and take the connector and come back.
Oh, is he going to do the bomb jump? Oh, okay. That would have been a completely different can of worms right there. I don't know where that would have taken.
It looks like the bottom of Spectacle Rock takes us to the King's Tomb entrance. And Bonta finds Skull Woods just hanging out at the graveyard ledge. Okay, it looks like Frostbite's going to head over to the old man's side. Definitely the right choice for him. And Bonta with no fire source, unfortunately, is not going to be able to take down the moth just yet. Our Dark Sanctuary is the upgrade fairy, and Bonta's going to grab himself some more bombs and arrows.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, at this point, there's no reason not to.
Oh, for sure. And Frostbite sees his Moon Pearl.
Oh, wow. Bonta checking Sanctuary. I didn't realize 30 minutes in he hasn't checked Sanctuary yet.
Yeah, if you get on a good roll where you're finding items and progression, you can kind of forget to do that save and quit point. Looks like we're going to get to see what's behind our mushroom here soon from Frostbite. And Bonkrocks with just our oh, what is that? I think that thief is over near the Ice Rod Cave in the vanilla game. Oh, a small key on the mushroom.
Ooh.
The Thieves' Town. That's a pretty nice one.
That's a very good hint to have. That's a very good key to have ahead of time.
Yeah, definitely.
Frostbite using the Cane of Samaria to navigate the dark room.
Definitely a nice strat to use. And Bonta finding his small key.
It's interesting that Bonta decided, and I didn't think he had checked this, but it was a very interesting decision to do Spiral Cave, not having checked any of these locations, and not knowing where Sanctuary was.
Yeah, he definitely got lucky with the items he found, the way he found them. It doesn't seem to be really holding him back at all. He's going to find that Kakariko well. As Frostbite's going to continue checking out the Death Mountain area. And Laser Bridge is going to be slightly easier for Frostbite. He does have a little bit more health, and he has those boots this time around, so he's probably going to fly through this a little bit easier, although Bonta did it like a pro, so... Some new checks for us over on Bonta's side as we get a look at what is in Dark Kakariko. So far, only $20 in our K45.
Ooh, Hookshot Cave. Bonta can hover. So I would not be surprised if we see a full clear of Hookshot Cave here.
That will be interesting.
Bonta is actually one of the people who kind of taught me how to hover. Kind of made it a little bit harder than it had to be there, though, getting rid of that pot to kill the berry.
Yeah, do it for the swag. And 10 arrows. Frostbite finding his dam. Oh, I always hold my breath when runners are hovering for some reason.
Yeah. It looks like he is making the call to reset the room. Ooh, the other end of Hookshot Cave coming out on Turok.
Very nice connector there. And we find Spike Cave.
That's kind of a nasty place for Spike Cave to be in my opinion. You never want to do it even when it's on the way. Even more so if you have to go way out of your way. Ooh, Hype Cave though.
Hype Cave.
Hype Cave is very nice.
With our lamp.
And a bow.
Oh my gosh.
And the big key to GT and the fire rod. Holy
Wow.
cow.
Hype Cave, solid 10 out of 10.
That is pretty much a Ganon's Tower care package. Top of the GT climb is now in Logic. Well, I mean, not in terms of keys. We technically would need all of the Ganon's Tower keys. But, yeah, that's an excellent Hype Cave.
I thought that the climb, that you can climb it without any keys, and sometimes that's actually in Logic, which is gross. I know Resetador was trying to tell me one time, and I think his progression was at the top of GT with no keys, because you can get to the mini helm room.
Yeah, the
without any smalls.
Volvorm 2 chest requires all small keys, I believe.
Yeah.
But yeah, the mini Helmosaurs are in Logic right now. As gross as that is to say out loud.
I mean, at this point, with all the goods they're getting, I want something to be trolly. Just one thing. We definitely want this race longer than an hour. Hookshot Cave didn't really have anything exciting for us. But we find that other connector takes us up to, that other connector in Paradox Cave takes us up to Death Mountain as well.
That's good to know. Because right now our runners don't really have a super reliable way to East Death Mountain. Knowing that Paradox Cave is also in Kakariko, it kind of takes the pressure off of you to explore East Death Mountain right now.
Yeah, definitely. We did see Frostbite check that shovel that we got earlier, well, that he got earlier, and it was just a full heart, so nothing exciting, but still a good check to have off your map.
Frostbite about to found Skull Woods, but unfortunately, without a fire source, he will be unable to clear. Both fire sources being in Hype Cave.
Yeah, that's interesting. And given that we have both fire sources and both keys for Aga Tower and that magic powder, we just might have an Aga 1 seed.
That is a very good point. At the moment, I don't think we have East Death Mountain. Well, we know that the flippers are in Ganon's Tower, and we do technically have access to the right side of Ganon's Tower. So flippers might be there, which would give us logical East Death Mountain access, provided there are no connectors over there anyways.
Yeah, true. And our dig game, just $5. But Bonta is going to give us a look at what Stumpy and our K45 entrance has for us today. And just a map for Eastern. Although we do have a lot of access. However, we haven't found very many dungeons. Like, it feels like we have just because we found all of the T-Rock entrances. But, well, and there's Swamp in the K45 entrance. That is gross. Unfortunately, we found that dam already, and we don't have Flipper, so we're not going to get to see what that hint says right away.
Frostbite thinking about that Mire play. No one ever wants to dive Mire without a fire source. It's just bad.
I don't think he has a sword yet either. Northeast desert leads to... I didn't quite catch all that hint. I think it was Hera. Interesting. So we are going to need Hera. A Mire entrance just to get to Hera. So it's possible we might need that flute and the Titans if we don't have a connector that takes us over there.
Eastside Desert, is that can't be the actual Eastside Desert entrance, right? Like the one that's like just a ledge? Does that mean the Booklock Desert, or are we talking about the one that you have to mirror from the Mire entrance to get to?
I don't know.
Northeast Desert Ledge, so that would be the Checkerboard Cave entrance?
Yeah, it definitely can't be that segregated one. I mean, it could be, and that would just be gross. Then, unless we don't.
Well, I don't think it can be. I think that's a must connect entrance because you can't mirror to that ledge.
And we have a small key on our floating island today, on our Hylia island.
Looks like Frostbite is passing up Skull Woods for now. So, unfortunately, he is going to be without sword for a little while longer. But if he ever checks where the old man save equip place is, then he should go. He'll probably go ahead and take that opportunity to clear Skull Woods.
Yeah. Oh, we have the back of Spiral or of Super Bunny Cave, the actual nice entrance. 2 quick items and a magic refill should we need it. And that's our tempered or our master sword for Bonta. Very nice find. This seed is being too kind to our runners.
It's really interesting how this route has worked for Bonta, how he's getting to do all of this with the mirror. Frostbite's already cleared this stuff because he came down here before he had found the mirror.
Yeah,
Or
this is the
Pearl.
dream route to be able to kind of stack your checks. And there is our red meringue from our drained desert. Which is kind of nice as we don't really have a stun item yet, and Thieves Town on Bonta's side.
Bonta better hope he doesn't find the big key here, or if he does, he better hope that the big chest doesn't have anything in it. Because he is still without that Thieves Town small key from Potion Shop.
So far, nothing really valuable in Thieves Town. Nope, here's a bust. Let's see what our other tablet has for us today. And now Bonta can get it, as he has that Master Sword. It's
He'll
a
probably
small
go
key.
ahead. Yep. Ooh,
Tower
there.
Para.
That one's. I mean, you're kind of grateful to have it, but also no one likes doing the Hera basement. So there's that too.
Yeah, that's gross. Oh, and our waterfall fairy with nothing exciting. Looks like Bonta is going to go ahead and take care of some of these desert checks. Oh,
Ooh.
Mimic Cave, or Mini Moldarm Cave. Oh, I don't think Frostbite did that bombable wall to get his Master Sword, as Bonta is on red mail.
Yeah, Frostbite is still missing his sword from Skullwoods, which he'll most assuredly. Well, he does have a sword though.
Maybe he did pick it up then, and I just missed it.
What is Bonta doing?
Looks like he's setting up a death warp to open the desert entrance. Interesting.
I think I know what he's doing. Because you can't escape desert, right? Once you go in here, you're not you can't get back out. So he's going to come in here, check what it is. Hopefully it's not a health refill. He's going to kill himself, and then he's going to select continue on the death screen. So that will but he's got to kill himself on red mail.
Yeah, with red mail.
So now he's going to select continue, which is going to preserve his overworld portal. Or maybe he's just going to save and continue.
Interesting.
I don't really know what the point of the death warp was there.
Yeah, I don't either. But hey, he's number 3, and I'm just a commentator, so.
Yeah, I think maybe he messed up. I think maybe he forgot that he was supposed to select continue and just messed up there.
Get to take a look at what is in the back of our old man connector. This could be good. Oof. Gross. Okay, and Bonta heading back into the Skullwoods area. He can now open that with the fire rod. Not really need to, but he could if he wanted. And so far, all of our Dark World item caves have been accounted for.
Yeah, I'm a bit surprised that Bonta, I don't think he has checked the back of the old man entrance, which actually is in logic with the lamp.
Yeah, it just came out at the desert area.
Oh, okay, that's what he just checked.
In that gross cave that you can't get to.
Gotcha. Looks like he's going back to Skull Woods to take care of Matila.
Yeah, definitely not a bad idea. Especially because it's in such a gross location. Like, just get it done, get it out of your mind, don't worry about it anymore.
Frostbite is remembering that he has the cane in the mirror.
And Frostbite grabs his mail upgrade.
So Frostbite will get Master Sword here, but unfortunately he has kind of orphaned the Bombos tablet, which has the Hera small key on it. So I don't know when he'll be able to route that in again. Also, Frostbite has to go through Hookshot Cave to get both fire sources.
Yeah.
And there's no other way about that, but Hookshot Cave probably seems like an unattractive option for him without the hookshot. Even though it's still just a regular connector. Bonta, slapping Mothula around. Unfortunately, he keeps getting knocked onto the spikes, and anytime you hit Mothula onto the spikes, it negates all damage dealt to him. But he does get a map of Ganon's tower, and more importantly, a crystal for his troubles.
I really want Bonta to go back to GT.
If I would probably do the bomb jump over to East Death Mountain right now, or East Dark World. We'll see what Bonta does.
Yeah, that's more than likely what he's going to do. There's so many things he can check over here, as well as the top of Hyrule Castle. So he's going to set up this Kern jump here. Ooh, a little early. Frostbite is making the Mire play.
Sure, I think he's a little too low.
Yeah.
There you go. That looks like a good lineup. Yeah.
There it is.
There we go. Frostbite making the play in the Mire without a fire source.
And unfortunately, we know he is not going to find one here. No glove yet, so he's not going to be able to get to this Zora catfish entrance, which could... I mean, it's not terrible, but that is orphaning catfish.
Well, he still has Zora as well. Like, he can't get to Zora either, outside of a fake flip.
Yeah. Zora a little bit more accessible, but that catfish, you're not getting to it without a mitt. Or a glove. So far, Misery Mire not really having anything
Bonta
too
taking
exciting.
a death. Bonta getting hit by one of the annoying Dark World enemies. I think they're called Zeros, the birds in the or the bats in the Dark World.
Yeah, they're
that's a very unfortunate death.
Oh, because he was in Fake Flipper.
Yeah, and that's not a fun place to get back to either.
Yeah, no, not at all. Yeah, that is a really dangerous area to kind of fake flipper to. Just there are so many enemies right in that area. It makes it really, really tough for a fake flipper. I'm wondering if Frostbite is going to go all the way to Vidi and beat him with no bow.
I don't think... Oh, we do have the big key too.
Oh yeah, we got that pretty early right in GT. Because there has been nothing else in Mire. Oh my gosh, I think he's doing it.
I think Bonta's going to take another shot at East of Mountain here. Now
yeah,
he has
set up that
the
water walk.
from the woods.
Yeah.
Oh no, he's leaving East Mountain. Probably without a glove, it makes sense. If you don't want to orphan that out. Ooh, he's got to be careful though. So now Frostbite is going to do Dark Mire, which is unfortunate because we know the lamp is logically accessible.
Yeah, Darkmire just always feels bad. Bond is going to find his bomb shop here and get the information that his 5-6 crystals are Hera and Misery Mire. So we do need Dark Misery Mire access so that we can get to Hera, which is 100% required today. Bonta finding a connector, which takes him to the Dark
Mire.
Misery Mire area.
He
Ooh,
doesn't
no
have a glove, so he can't check it.
Yep. And no glove to pick up those rocks there, so he is going to have to mirror very specifically. Ooh, and we find a Gina.
And Frostbite has kind of a tough ask here with Master Sword Vitreous. Getting lucky with that lightning. That was a little dangerous.
Yeah, probably feels a little more comfortable with that blue mail, but Vitreous is gross. Bonta just finding a map from Agina today.
All right, he's gotten all the eyes out of the way. Now it's just a matter of killing Vitreous.
And Bonta finds Pod.
And Frostbite having a very good Vitreous fight. Very slow, but very good. Ooh, Cape. That's ironic because Cape would be the #1 item you would want to have for this fight.
Yeah, right? He gets
If
his
you're going to do
cape
Master
and
Sword
his
Vitreous.
pistol. I feel like this pod play, something has to be here in pod. With all the keys that we've received so far, something good has to be here, surely. Oh, and we are getting the hover over to the Bowlock side. Bonta with all the swag strats today.
Yeah, this is, in my opinion, one of the hardest hovers in the game.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, you rarely see it. He's just going to abort the mission and go ahead and check and see what's in our big key spot.
Yeah, I think that hover is pixel perfect over the rail. You have to be like just in the right pixel so that when you go down, you don't get the collision with the rail, and then you can walk over to your right without, accidentally grabbing the rail. It's a very tough hover.
Frostbite finally finding his hookshot cave. So hopefully he takes this connector.
He's probably going to be annoyed at the fact that he is just now finding the lamp.
And the fire rod.
And the bow.
And the bow.
Like basically the Vitreous care package right here.
Yeah, everything else you need in the game right here in this location. Big key to Thieves Town, Empine. And just
Frostbite probably feels great right now.
Thank you, Sari UX. I did miss that hint, and I was trying to watch my VOD just to see what it was. So thank you for letting us know. Bonta getting that information that his mushroom is going to give him that Thieves Town small key.
So Frostbite with both Burna, well, he's missing a hammer, never mind. I was gonna say Frostbite has the option to do Spike Cave, but it's gonna be kind of hard without a hammer. Although because Frostbite has done more overworld stuff, he does have the luxury of checking East Death Mountain.
True.
And this is all new information for us.
There's the Hasharala. And
Like,
Pod is our 5/6 today, or our rain pendant.
Bonta with a good hammer. Ooh, finding the flute. Flute is, I don't know, it's useful early game, but at the moment I don't know that it actually unlocks a whole lot for us. And most of the world has been explored by Bonta. Maybe it makes it a little easier to get back to Death Mountain, but other than that, I don't know that it holds a whole lot of value for him.
Another connector over on Death Mountain to the top of Hyrule Castle. Oh, back at Desert. And the top of Bumper Cave, or the bottom, whichever. But we do have a cape, so he can check that as well as... No, he can't do anything in the back of Desert. Never mind. Let's see
Bonta
what
has found
Agus
Aga Tower. I wonder if he clears it, knowing that Magic Bat is at large.
And there is our 6 pod key.
Also, I just have to acknowledge is Bonta going way out of his way to give us some fantastic chest turns.
Well, there's Graveyard Ledge for Frostbite. With the hammer!
Ooh! That's a
Oh
big
my.
one.
Bonta finds a desert entrance over in the Dark Pod area.
Which
That
this
hammer
could work
is
out for him
huge.
because Desert left is on East Death Mountain. Wait, no, but Hammer was behind the Mitts entrance, so if he does East Death Mountain, this would be the one entrance he can't get to.
Yeah, it looks like we have some syncing up with our runners. Bonta finding Blind's Head. Well, if Frostbite finds that big key to pod, he's going to be able to single dip that one. Although we still don't know if Turtle Rock is... Oh, we do know it's a pendant. Interesting. We may not have to finish pod.
Ooh, this is a good connector. Bonta did not check
Very
this,
nice.
I don't believe. And unfortunately, just a game of chance. Uh-oh. Frostbite getting a little bit of trouble there.
Oh.
Oh, no.
And Bonta finally picking up his shovel, which we know is nothing exciting, but still good to have, I guess. The damage effect on Frostbite Sprite is so awesome.
I'm still interested to see which runner goes into GT first. Frostbite, if I was Frostbite, I'd probably be making a beeline for GT right now.
Yeah, that's a lot
only
of
thing
items
that's
he
about-
can check.
The only negative thing about GT is you do only have one small key, so you have to be very selective with what you decide to dive. But other than that, I mean, GT has so much in it right now.
Yeah, that's definitely true.
Oh, Sarah UX also bringing up a good point. They don't have hook shot.
Yeah, but you can bonk and bomb jump, so you don't really need the hook shot much, especially for the basement in GT.
Have a small key on the pyramid.
The
Small key to
GT.
Ganon's tower. All right. I think 2 small keys are all you need to really do all the things in Ganon's tower. I know logically 4 are required for some checks, but really if you have 2, I think you can do all you need to do.
Yeah, I believe so as well. No one's stealing that key from Desert.
I'm not a huge fan of key stealing myself. I think there are some people that swear by it, but I've never been a huge fan of it.
I will steal it and key scum just to see if there's something definitely required on that side. Then I know for sure that I'm going to find that Desert small key, so I'll just go ahead and commit to it. And if not, just reset and all is forgiven. Let's see what's back of the dark crash chest. Just a shield upgrade.
So I'm trying to remember, how did Frostbite get to the top of East Death Mountain so he could drop down and get his hammer?
I think he just took his hookshot connector and mirrored, and then he was able to check that bottom half.
But hammer was behind the mitt, so he had to drop down from the top of East Death Mountain. Well, I know we found Floating Island, but is that how Frostbite traveled to East Death Mountain? Maybe he did, I just missed it. But that means that Bonta now needs to go to Floating Island. But I'm not seeing any other connectors that would get you there.
Yeah, Frostbite has definitely been utilizing his connectors really well, because he didn't find that hookshot cave until after he already explored the left side of Death Mountain. So when he found that connector that took him up to the floating island, he mirrored and then jumped down and checked everything there.
Bonta finally making the GT play.
Yeah, unfortunately, without that hammer, he's not going to get much further than Ice Armos here. He does have the big key. And there's our first glove.
And big key to desert, as promised.
Very nice.
Flippers, however, are still at large here. This room gives our runners a lot of trouble sometimes. We'll see how Bonta does it. He damage boosts through it just fine. on maybe a little bit less health than I would want to be going into Ice Armors.
Yeah, he does have that magic powder, and it looks like he's probably has a good shot at. He has enough magic to use it. Frostbite grabbing his crystal for Mothula, which now gives him 2.
Bonta again, really showing off some of the chest turns. Some really, really nice chest turns.
Yeah, definitely. Oh, with a clutch heart refill as well as a fairy.
Yeah, now he has sword beams. This should, well, actually, he's got the bow. Never mind. Even better than sword beams.
Oh, Frostbite checking that hammer-locked entrance to Ice Rod Cave in Kakariko. Oh, the small to desert. Interesting.
Yeah, so based on what chat is saying, I think Bonta's only route up to Death Mountain right now, I think it's either going to be take Spiral Cave, or I'm guessing Bumper Cave connected back up to Turtle Rock, which allowed Frostbite to mirror.
Yeah, Hookshot Cave does too, right here in Kakariko.
Yeah, but Hookshot Cave won't get you the entrance behind the mitts.
Oh, I'm sorry. I was thinking of yeah, Spiral Cave takes us up to the floating island. Sorry, not Hookshot Cave.
Yeah, and Bonta really needs to be on top of East Death Mountain right now. GT Big Key was in Hype Cave.
Yeah, unfortunately for Bonta, I think getting that glove is going to take him a little further away. Maybe not, because there is a glove lock location up on top of Death Mountain, and he might just want to get all those checks out of the way. So it might. It's hit or miss at this point. Cross keys is such a game of chance sometimes.
Frostbite getting his glove, and Desert Palace Key.
Bonta is going up the gauntlet.
Yeah, I mean, from Bonta's perspective, I don't think this is a bad play.
No,
I mean, I guess maybe he could
not.
go back to Meyer. But aside from that, I don't really know what else he has left.
Yeah, this is kind of cool. We're getting tandem GT checks, and it's all going to be all new information on each side, each runner doing something different.
Yeah, Lord Zeno bringing up a good point that Bonta can hover, so the Moldorm 2 chest is less of a risk for Bonta. There
Absolutely.
is no need to clear Aga 2 because we know the pyramid has the fairy. But yeah, Bonta can get the Moldorm 2 chest. Dave doing a double take on that magic.
And Frostbite now has the Infinity Gauntlet. So that means our hook shot is not going to be over here, I don't think.
And the flipper.
Wow. Well, hookshot, I guess, could be in here.
Yeah, hookshot could be in GT, but, well, hookshot can be in the map chest, I believe. That's it. The firebar room. That's the only place hookshot could be in GT. It could be behind Ice Armors.
Yeah, and I think the firebar room is only in Logic with 4 keys.
But man, both mitts and flippers behind the hookshot. That is good knowledge for Frostbite. So far, nothing on top of the gauntlet, just a couple of composites.
Ooh, and a sword upgrade. I mean,
Yeah, that's really useful. I mean, it's at least something, you know. Even if Moldorm 2 is garbage, you can at least say you got Tempered Sword out of it.
Yeah, definitely. And Bonta making the hover. Oh, he got it. For some
Just for
bombs.
bombs. And he is gonna go ahead and kill Aga too. I don't know if he's doing this just so he can mirror on top of the pyramid. I think Bonta has deduced that this must be the fairy. But he might be doing this so he can mirror and do the desert and bumper cave connectors.
Yeah, I don't know why Bonta is killing Aga too, because he has already checked the top of the pyramid and mirrored. But I mean, I guess if you're there, just do it.
I mean, without the hammer, this is probably the most convenient way to get to the top of the pyramid if that's where you want to be. And there are two. I don't think he checked any of the desert entrances, and I don't think he checked where Bumper Cave went. Well, he doesn't have the cape, so he can't check where Bumper Cave goes. Which actually now I'm realizing is bad for Bonta because that takes away one of his.
Oh, it's Magic
Magic.
Bat! It's Useless Fairy on Aga 1, Magic Bat on Aga 2. Wow, I marked those wrong.
Oh, okay. Oh, it's so
Just
unfortunate
50
though.
bits. Yeah, I don't blame him for that.
So as long as Frostbite is comfortable with Master Sword, he really has no reason to climb GT. So Bonta is going back to the pyramid, probably to mirror and check some of these connectors. But unfortunately, without killing Vitreous and without having the cape, his really only connector here, the best he's going to get out of these is East Death Mountain. But it's still not going to give him the connector that'll take him to the top of the mountain.
Yeah, it is going to either give him another crystal or a pendant, though, being able just to take out Desert right here since he did find the big key and the small keys. So Desert will be fully clearable.
And Frostbite immediately making a play for some of these Midslock locations. Not a bad play, but I hope he keeps track of what he finds, because that hook shot, when you have both mitts and flippers, that hook shot can get really buried in logic if you're not tracking everything you find.
Yeah, for sure.
We found the Death Mountain Descent connector, although I think there's a good chance that connects back up to Death Mountain. I think there was a random cave we saw up there that we haven't checked yet, a dark room.
And Desert is our last pendant.
So that gives Bonta full crystal knowledge, but not Frostbite.
Well, I don't think Bonta has found Sahashala yet. So I don't think he knows that Pod is our green pendant.
Let's see, where is Bonta going? To Turtle Rock.
Yep, going back to T-Rock.
Yeah, Bonta hasn't done anything on East Death Mountain yet. Yeah, it's not uncommon to see runners put off map checks, because in Cross Keys you kind of clear everything. Like right now, there are very few decisions to make. Like if you get all the items to Mire, you're probably going to clear Mire, even if it's a pendant, just because of the items in the dungeon.
going to get to see what's in the purple chest today, and this is going to give Frostbite an opportunity to go ahead and check that Bombos tablet. Oh, and he can check the glove lock locations too.
He will also be able to dive the front of Swamp if he wants to. Although he knows he's not going to find a hookshot there if he's keeping up with his life.
Oh, and there's the back of T-Rock. Or the big chest to T-Rock, which we know we're not going to get until we turn in that green pendant.
That's one of the better Turtle Rock entrances you can find. First off, you can get to every Turtle Rock entrance from that entrance, but you cannot get to that entrance from any other Turtle Rock entrance. Like it's one way. So finding that entrance is super useful.
Yeah, definitely.
And Frostbite getting a small key to Hera, which Bonta had for some time, but neither of our runners have found Hera yet.
Wonder if our hook shot is here.
That would be an interesting equalizer. Although, really, Bonta either needs to get the cape and do Bumper Cave, or he needs to make his way back through Spiral Cave.
Frostbite gonna make the Ice Palace play.
This isn't a bad play if he has magic. If he's got a magic, if he doesn't have a magic potion, he's gonna have a bad time with Cold Stare.
Yeah, I think he does have one. Interestingly enough, now both runners have access to Tower of Hera.
Where is Tower Hera? Oh, Tower Hera
It's
being under
in
checkerboard.
desert. Yeah. Bonta taking that Hyrule Castle entrance. Gonna check the Dark Cross before he does anything else. Oh, we also have the back of Escape available now that we have gloves.
Frostbite, getting kind of hurt by that barrier right there. Fortunately, missed his bomb timing. I think Bonta is just now checking some of these connectors. Finding Mimic Cave, but not having a hammer, he will have to come back later. This might be a Mire play from Bonta, which might not be bad if getting the cape triggers him to do the Bumper Cave connector. Although it looks like he's making the move for back of Escape, maybe?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, it's 3 quick items. Oh, the ice rod.
Ice Rod does put, well, not technically in logic based on keys, but I do believe that gives him the ability to go kill Trinex. Oh, we have not found the big key yet. I missed that.
Yeah, it's on Sahashala.
Oh, that's right. I forgot about that.
Yeah, Bonta's definitely going for Meyer. Oh, Silver Arrow's a nice palace.
That's nice. Especially with Frostbite only having Master Sword. That gives him peace of mind if he gets to the end game without finding another sword. Knowing that, we know that one's on top of GT. He doesn't know that yet, though.
And the small to
Be
swamp.
careful. I hope Frostbite remembers he does not have the hook shot before he drops down this hole. I hope he does remember to bomb jump back.
Yeah, I think he's gonna go do the Dark Cross or the Ice Tea Room. No, where is he going?
He's checking the hint up
Oh,
here.
getting the hint. Okay. Ooh, half magic.
That's a really, really nice hint. I mean, he was probably going to check it anyways, but knowing that you have a magic refill is really nice.
Yeah.
Bonta really going for that chest turn right there.
Gotta get the swag, man. Now, maybe we'll get lucky and have a good hint. It's probably going to be like the Meyer left hint. Hopefully, it's a Swamp Palace hint.
I think it was just a compass in the first chest, right?
Yeah. Oh, it's a green hint. And Frostbite gets his half magic. And the Meyer compass for Bonta.
Oh, here is a swag strat right here.
Oh my goodness.
So I take it back about the bot hover. This is actually the hardest hover in the game. At this point, just go through the portal, man. You're not saving time anymore.
Ooh. As Frostbite takes on Cold Stare.
Unfortunately, missing a few of those fire rod shots, so he will have to take out this last one with the Master Sword.
And Bonta gets his hover.
Ooh, the fourth sword.
Wow.
So Frostbite now has his end game set. Butter Sword's nice, but by no means is it necessary. The jump from Tempered to Butter is not near as drastic as the jump from Tempered to Master. So it'll be interesting to see if Frostbite dives Swamp. I personally would avoid Swamp right now until I find the hook shot. And I think he's realizing that too. Because even though he does have everything he needs to dive, everything but the back, he knows hookshot cannot, or he should know that hookshot cannot be there.
Yeah. That's when you really got to pay attention to your sequence breaks, because something like that could cost you the game. Hookshot is really all he needs, other than keys, of course, but item-wise, hookshot is on the list of items, because we don't necessarily know if we have to kill Trinex yet, just because that is a pendant, and there is nothing on pedestal. So with hookshot being the only thing we need, I definitely wouldn't dip Swamp at the moment.
I'm not sure if Bonta took an intentional death or not, but Bonta taking a death and not going to Vitreous, which means he's not getting his cape, which means the only way to hammer for him right now is through Spiral Cape. Oh, he doesn't have the big key yet. I don't remember where we got the Meyer big key.
It was in GT. He should have it. No, it was on the torch. He never went back and got it off the torch because he didn't have boots the first time he dipped it.
Oh, wow. So he's checking this. We haven't seen the other end of this.
And Frostbite has found here Oh, that could be bad for Bonta.
This is
Oh
good.
wait,
Bonta's
no,
about to
we're
get his
good.
hammer,
We're good. Yeah, he's fine. It's good.
which means he's going back to Meyer, or he's going back to GT. He's gonna get his big key. Oh boy, Bonta was literally just saved.
Looks like we just got a Spike Cave hint from Hera so far. As Frostbite takes his coffee break and Bonta grabs his hammer.
Fun fact, the exit of that connector is actually in the wrong dimension, but that's where it is in the light world. We'll see what's here in the Hera basement. Ooh, the pod big key.
Pod.
Which now I believe puts the Turtle Rock big key in logic.
Yeah, we definitely
Which
have all 6 keys accounted for.
I think that puts Ped in logic. Well, Ped's already been checked, so never mind. But yeah. All pendant dungeons now are in logic. I think we're missing a few Turtle Rock keys. And a Turtle Rock big key. Oh wait, but the Turtle Rock big key's on top, so yeah.
We are going to get to see what is on that right side of desert. Nothing.
That is correct. I do believe that item go mode, assuming nothing is on Trinex, yes, hookshot would be go mode. Otherwise, Frostbite would need Ice Rod from back of his kick, which he has not gotten yet. So Frostbite can single dip Meyer here, or single dip Pod. He has everything he needs to handle it.
Oh, did Frostbite not check the dark entrances on Death Mountain, the 2 on Old Man side? Because he doesn't have that big key to Hera yet, and that was in the Spike Cave entrance in the Dark World. Oh, Bonta about to pick up his big key to Meyer.
To Pod. Oh no, you're right. To Meyer. I don't know why I thought it was in Hera.
All the big key progression has been interesting because we had the Meyer big key and the Desert big key in GT, and then Pod and Hera and Thieves Town, and then Thieves Town big key and Pod. It was very interesting so far. Bonta's going to do some more hovering as Frostbite is going to clear out Pod. And he can actually get all the way to Helmaslor.
So we know that Frostbite will absolutely need that big key to Hera. It is a little bit easier for him to get back there because he does have both the glove, the mirror, the mitts, the hammer, so he can get back there. I just hope that he does that sooner rather than later, because I don't think he's checked any of the pod area.
Yeah, definitely.
And now with Thieves Town open up, he might go back there. He has both the big key and the small key and the hammer. I mean, because if I'm Frostbite right now, I'm thinking I need items more than I need entrances. So I'm gonna go where item density is.
Yeah, we're only missing a couple item caves anyway. So, I mean, there really isn't much more that he could find.
Bonta doing a quick map check. And Bonta now has full crystal knowledge. Kind of interesting. Bonta opting not to do Thieves Town, even though he can full clear it now. Instead, going to Ice Palace. And I don't remember there being anything really of value here other than the sword.
I think he got the Thieves Town big key out of logic. So maybe he's thinking that the hook shot has more of a chance of being here? No, I guess not.
No, he has the bow.
I don't know. Yeah. I was thinking it was the flute in that in the in the pod maze room.
I think Frostbite has seen thieves. I have a hard time imagining he knew where Ice Palace was without having check in the front of thieves. He's also turned in Purple Chest. So I would think at some point he dove there. I could be wrong about that. So we still need to find that Eastern Big Key. That is still at large, and we have absolutely no idea where that could be.
Yeah.
One good thing for Frostbite is that knowing that he has the flute now, activating that and going to Death Mountain is going to be a much easier trip from him rather than, having to go through either the Bumper Cave or Spiral Cave connector. So maybe he has a good chance of getting the Tower Hera Big Key soon. Although he also hasn't checked the shopping mall. He has both the Zora area and Catfish combo, so he might not place a whole lot of value.
Yeah. But that hook shot and big key to Eastern could be in Hera. Because I'm pretty sure, that Hera big key is in logic. Because they had the moon pearl before they went in it.
Hopefully. Okay, Frostbite does have Thieves Town marked on his tracker. So I know that he knows where Thieves Town, Frostbite does. So, okay, I was talking about Bonta doing ice over Thieves. But yeah, Frostbite does have all he needs to clear out Thieves Town right now. Maybe Frostbite goes to get his big key off of Sahasrara and maybe routes in Dark Death Mountain on his way to the laser bridge entrance.
Yeah, possibly.
We also need the Swamp Palace small key.
No,
Although I'm showing it marked
Frostbite
on-
found it.
Where was that at?
Ice Palace.
Oh, okay. Oh, okay,
Right
yeah,
there.
Bonta literally just got it. So then really, between the runners, we're missing Hookshot and Eastern Palace Big Key.
Yeah, and with that Swamp Palace being a crystal, Bonta can't hover that, so he definitely does need the hook shot. Although I like this Thieves Town play because we could find it. Wait. Yeah, we could find the hook shot in here.
Yeah, I think right now the only place we cannot find it at this point that's relevant is behind the flippers. I don't think the mitts are really relevant. I think we can get to everything you would typically require mitts for. So really, all Frostbite needs to do is avoid flippers in terms of finding the hook shot. But that doesn't really account for the Eastern Palace Big Key because that can still be literally anywhere.
Ooh, what if it's in the 5-6 crystal spot on the big bomb?
Looks like we're going to get a high five from our runners here as Bonta also enters the town. Or maybe he doesn't. Where is Bonta going? He's going to get the small key before he dives east town. Shoutouts to Hints because otherwise Bonta hard orphan this.
Yeah, for sure. Now let's see if it was worth it.
Yeah. Bonta has had all of the swag today. Just a small key Turtle Rock, which does put Trinex in logic. Trinex is now in full logic.
Yeah, unfortunately, Frostbite hasn't picked up his Ice Rod yet. Megawatt, he can actually get the Turtle Rock Big Key. It's on Sahashala. We got a hint for that earlier. So he does have that pendant. He just has to turn it in.
Yeah, one of the things that really hurt Bonta was really late getting his hammer.
Oh, hook shot! Hook shot on blind.
Wow. So that's both good and bad because ideally you would have hoped to have found the Eastern Palace Big Key before finding the hook shot, just because then your potential locations are limited. But now that puts a lot of things in logic. Frostbite still has to check Hookshot Cave. He now has the full clear of Swamp available to him.
I see him definitely doing Swamp before committing to anything else.
Also, welcome Zelda Speedruns. Hope you enjoyed this race. Pretty much the same thing you were just watching, just different players. Just giving a brief update, we are pretty much looking for the Eastern Palace Big Key at this point. That is all either runner needs. Frostbite does have a slight advantage because he has already cleared Mire. But he also has a slight disadvantage because he has not found the Hera Big Key, which is in the Vanilla Spike Cave entrance. Frostbite does not know where the Hera Big Key is.
Yeah, chat, bear with us for 1 second. Having a slight problem with our restream here, but it will be cleared up hopefully shortly. As Bonta is about to pick up his hook shot. Unfortunately, we have not had any left side swamp pins, so possibly going to have to do that. Bonta grabbing his crystal to Thieves Town. Looks like we're getting a refresh here.
Looks like Frostbite is going to go ahead and make the left side play. I think. Yes, he is.
This is interesting. Being one... Oh, he's not one item away from go mode. Never mind. Missing that Hera Big Key. I was going to say, with just missing one item, I would have expected him to go ahead straight to beat the boss and then come back in if he didn't get it. But again, that Hera Big Key is going to troll him until he makes it to Dark Death Mountain.
Now, this is an interesting play from Bonta. We are getting both the Dark and Light World Hylia entrances, which I don't think we have seen from either runner yet.
No, and there is our checkerboard cave with our final bottle. The back of Super Bunny Cave. And a hint. So right now, the only item locations we are missing is the Chicken Hut and the library. So
I thought we had
I'm
found
not
Chicken Hut.
sure. I don't remember. We could have. There it is.
Or maybe we didn't. If Bonta finds the Eastern Key here, that would be huge. But unfortunately not.
So as of right now, the only item location we haven't found is the library. Frostbite finding bombos and swamp.
And there's our library. At this point, if I had to pick a runner that might have an edge over the other, I would probably have to give it to Bonta. Because I think Frostbite is going to end up checking a whole bunch of new stuff before he goes back for stuff that he's already done.
Yeah, for sure. And one of the things that might have helped him would be the necessities for potions, but unfortunately both of our runners are at a very high caliber, so he's probably not going to even need to go back up there to get a potion, which is going to, keep him from going. Oh, we still haven't had a Zora, a Catfish, a Zora Ledge check.
Yeah, all of
Or
which
a
is now
Dark
in
Death
Logic.
Mountain. Yeah. But those three are definitely items.
The Hera Big Key is in the Vanilla Spike Cave entrance.
Doesn't look like Swamp Palace really has anything Of course, we're pretty good on safety items, all other items. It's just keys at this point that we are looking for. Looks like Bonta's going to go ahead and clear out Pod and Hera.
We still needs to get the pod big key from the Hera basement. And it looks like he is just going straight to the top, which I agree with. I mean, you might not have to do the basement. This is new information, though. Frostbite has not, because he cannot do this. Unfortunately, all of Swamp just being a bust.
Yeah, for sure. So is Hera, other than that pod big key in the basement.
So we know that the Turtle Rock big key is on Sahasrara, pod being the green pendant, the pod big key being in the Hera basement. I think Frostbite's about to give us what is Frostbite heading toward?
Oh, I hope he's not
The hammer
to go up
he's already done that.
GT. Oh, he's doing Hookshot Cave.
Oh yeah, this is a good call for him. So at this point, what's left? I mean, we have two checks behind the Turtle Rock big key, and then we have Spike Cave.
Yeah. This is interesting.
One thing that is a good sign, Frostbite is checking what he knows over checking new stuff. So this might be good if he goes back to Dark Death Mountain. Well, Dark Death Mountain would be new for him though, so never mind. He needs to check some new stuff. He just needs to check the right new stuff. Although he is on Death Mountain, so yeah, go ahead, get your Turtle Rock big key. Go over to Laser Bridge, but before you do that, maybe check Dark Death Mountain entrances. Maybe. No, Bamo's tablet actually had the Hera small key. I don't actually remember what Ether had.
I think it just had a heart piece.
Well, the bomb shop entrance is now dead. Or the pyramid crack, rather. As per hint on Frostbite's side, it leads to a common shop. Frostbite really needs to get that Hera big key as soon as possible. And he also needs to avoid the GT climb.
Yeah, that's kind of a really early location too that he missed. I have a feeling that when he goes there, he's gonna feel like super behind. I mean, his only saving grace would be if he pulled out the Eastern Palace big key first, I guess. And Bonta didn't find it for a while.
One advantage that Frostbite might have is if the Turok Big Key ends up leading to the Eastern Palace Big Key, because Bonta did opt not to clear pod, which I agree with. You know, if you have crystals you can clear at this point, clear the crystals. You know, skip pendants.
Yeah, definitely true.
But yeah, I mean, if the Turok Big Key locks the Eastern Palace Big Key, that might be a small advantage that Frostbite has, but he really has to get back to Death Mountain. He's about to get his Ice Rod, which is
yeah, that's good for him as well.
it is kind of comical to be checking this at the 2-hour mark. Probably going to go activate his flute and then immediately go to Turok if I had to guess.
Yeah, I feel like he's going to check that big chest, and then if it's not there, he's going to go right to Trinex, because he has pretty much everything else other than the front two chests done, so... He might just go straight to Trinex.
Yes, both runners are in item go mode. Frostbite needs the Hera Big Key, and both runners need the Eastern Palace Big Key.
Wow, for how early this seed kind of gave us really nice items, it's starting to really troll us there at the end. Oh my gosh.
Some rage slashes from Frostbite.
He just keeps getting like one fetch after another. Now he's in the right area, as long as he remembers to go check these dark. And he only has his light world map up, so I can't even see if he's marked them off by accident or if he knows he hasn't done them.
I'm sure he knows he hasn't done them, but the only bad thing about doing this first is that this is going to spit him out at the waterfall. So he might route this in with Zora checks, but which isn't
True.
bad if the Eastern Palace Big Key is there, but it puts him farther away from the Hera Big Key, which he needs to get from the Spike Cave entrance.
It's interesting that Bonta is doing more checks instead of just finishing Swamp, since he only needs one item for go mode.
He might be trying to skip left side. I don't know. Looks like he is going to do Swamp with the Lumberjack. I might be wrong about this, but I was thinking that killing or defeating a crystal boss with the blacksmith actually got rid of the blacksmith. Or those pendant dungeons.
I don't remember. It is one or the other, but I don't remember which it is.
I think it's the crystal, because you have the crystal cutscene that typically plays, and I think that deletes the smith.
Okay, yeah.
Oh, Frostbite also using this to check the front of Turok. So yeah, this is a good routing choice for Frostbite. Like it really is. Unfortunately, it just drives him farther away from the Hera Big Key. But this is a very heads up play for Frostbite.
Yeah,
And he can
especially if
mirror
that
the Zora
eastern
check.
big key ends up being up here.
Well, I think Bonta's already checked this.
Yeah, I meant with like Zora or on the ledge.
Oh yeah. So a lot of these checks were put off for a while. Both runners sequence broke GT to get to the Stalfos room or the Dark Magician room, which had both the mitts and the flippers in them. So this was out of logic until we found the hook shot, which both runners just found recently on blind. So that's one of the reasons why I believe the runners have kind of avoided these checks until late in the game. They wanted to close the logic with the hook shot.
Looks like Ether in the ledge. Because I don't believe we've seen Misery Mire main entrance either.
I don't think we have. So Frostbite's about to check the Skullwoods big key. And then he might use this to route over to Darkworld Shopping Mall. And then mirror to do Hylia. Basically the same thing that Bonta's already done. Yeah, we know that Bumper Cave, the hook shot entrance of Bumper Cave is Turtle Rock. So we know that already. Frostbite's already explored that connector. Oh, there it is!
Oh my god! Oh, what a chain. Oh my god, what a chain.
So that means that Bonta now needs to go to Pod and clear Pod. And he does have the big key to do so.
Oh, how gross is that chain, though?
But now, out of all of the entrances left, Frostbite has to go back to Dark Death Mountain.
Yeah. Wow, that big keychain was something. You had to kill Trinex to get the green pendant, to turn it into Sahashla, to get the big key to Turtle Rock, to get the big key to Skull Woods, to get the big key to Eastern Palace.
And it does look like Frostbite has a little bit more of a buffer because Bonta is going back in for left side. Whereas Frostbite routed this with the full clear of the dungeon. Man, it's tough to say who has an edge here. Because, yeah, Bonta does have to go kill Helma, but he doesn't have a whole lot left at this point.
Yeah, but he not only has to kill Helma, then he has to go to Turtle Rock, and then he has to go back to Skull Woods.
Yeah, but at the same time, I feel like if you're committing to killing Helmasaur and you get nothing, you have to commit to the green pendant, which means you have to commit to the big key. So, like, I feel like it's going to set him down the road he needs to go on, you know, faster than maybe Frostbite, who just has to guess, oh yeah, this is the one entrance I need to check out of all the entrances available to me. And even if you reserve yourself to checking entrances, you know, the shopping mall and East Hylia looks much more appealing than Dark Death Mountain at this point. Also, given that Bonta is looking for an item, I just have to hope that he avoids the GT climb. Because that is something that Frostbite still has on his table to do. Whereas Bonta's already done that.
Yeah, we are for sure in a very interesting situation.
Also, Trinex does have land mode. Hopefully he won't make that play since he did just shake the pedestal, but... Oh no, he fluted to 3.
He's going to GT.
No, Frostbite! Okay, so this gives Bonta a lot of time.
Yeah, for sure.
Bonta is now doing GT left side, again with the Smith.
Bonta did GT left, didn't he? Yeah. What is he doing?
Is he... Oh, Chad is saying he was short a key for Rando Room.
Oh, interesting. Yeah, they got the big chest.
I'm trying to remember. I want to say there was something here that was useful. Maybe I'm wrong about that, though. I thought there was like a key. Apparently not. Frostbite getting bullied just a little bit in this gauntlet. Which is not good for him because he needs to get out of here as soon as possible. Bonta finally delivering the Smith. And this is really exciting. I'm just trying to figure out who's gonna do what they need to do first. Bonta is checking the hammer pegs, but that's just a random lamp entrance, which likely leads to Death Mountain, I think, at this point. We found a dark room before we had the lamp on Death Mountain that none of our runners checked.
Yeah, I think it might be there. To the Dark Death Mountain bottom entrance.
I think Bonta's gonna run out of stuff to do before Frostbite runs out of stuff to do. But I also think that Bonta has more stuff to do after he figures it out than Frostbite does.
Yeah, I think this is gonna come down to it's gonna be close.
Bonta is in the Meyer area, so he might be making the pod decision now. So he's got the big chest, and then he's got Helmosaur. Or no, he's checking this entrance. He's got to be going to pod, though. There's no way you're here and you don't do pod. We're finding the old man cave. Bonta is finally making the pod play. Sorry about
That's
that.
tough to say sometimes.
Like brewery.
Yeah.
So if Frostbite goes to Dark Death Mountain, right now, after checking Magic Bat, I think he has the advantage. But
Yeah.
if I'm checking entrances, that density over by Hylia Island seems a lot better. Frostbite getting his 50 rupees of shame. Probably feeling super awesome about the decisions he's made in the past, 2.5 minutes. And now I think he's going to kill Landno. He's checking small keys, but I don't think there are any small keys he could want right now. I think he has all the keys he needs outside the Hera Big Key. So after this, Frostbite is going diving dungeons, or diving entrances, whereas Bonta pretty much just has to figure it out at this point. He's going to get a breadcrumb trail that's going to be pretty obvious at this stage of the game. At this point, I have to give the edge to Bonta. Oh, I agree. I think he's going to kill Trinex before going to the Skullwoods Big Chest. But at the same time, I think he's going to do that faster than Frostbite might track down the Spike Cave entrance. The Spike Cave entrance. He's already checked Spike Cave, but he just needs the vanilla Spike Cave entrance.
Yeah, he still has Dark Death Mountain, the Dark Shopping Mall, the Light Shopping Mall,
Hylia Island.
Catfish. Yeah.
I mean, Frostbite can. Frostbite, it's still well within Frostbite's grasp to win this. I think Bonta's got a little bit more consistent of a chance than Frostbite. If Frostbite immediately goes to Dark Death Mountain, he's got it. But he's got to pick that over all of his other choices, and that's not something I'm sure he's going to do. He might. I'm just not sure.
Yeah, I mean, if he just opens his flute and flutes straight to like 1 and starts checking off the quadrants, he's going to be fine. But he's getting back in the Dark World.
Which probably means a catfish. Or maybe even a Dark World Shopping Mall play. Probably catfish into Dark World Shopping Mall. I am looking at his tracker. He is aware that he has 3 entrances that he could get to right now that he knows he can get to with on Dark Death Mountain. So he is aware that he hasn't checked it yet. Bonta's about to get his Skullwoods Big Key. His heart will probably skip a beat.
At
So, and for
least
those-
with the save and quit from the old man, that Skullwoods check is pretty easy.
Oh, Bonta's going straight to Skullwoods.
Oh, I wonder why he didn't save and quit to the old man. Interesting.
I mean, it's just as quick.
Yeah, true.
So yeah, and this was what I was afraid of. Like, Frostbite has so many things to pick from right now, and they're all basically coin flips. I mean, technically, you want to go to the item dense locations anyways. So Frostbite's play is mathematically the correct play, which is unfortunately not the correct play for the seed. Bonta giving us a hover. Let's see if we'll give us one more chest turn.
Look at how much money both of our runners have.
Kind of balling out of control here.
Yeah, and this sets Bonta up for a really nice mirror right to Eastern. And then right back to Ganon's Tower, because all three of these locations are right next to each other. So he's going to go in here, get Eastern, walk back through, and drop down in the Lost Woods Thief hole, and there's Ganon.
Yeah, this has been a very interesting race. So for those of us who may just be joining, Bonta had kind of an early advantage because he had Mirror, he got an early Moon Pearl, but then Frostbite got slightly earlier boots. And more importantly, toward the middle of the seed, Frostbite made a play that got him the hammer way before Bonta did. So that allowed Frostbite to clear a lot of stuff out of the way, but unfortunately it just wasn't the right locations because Frostbite did kind of orphan the Dark World entrances on Death Mountain, which is where the Hera Big Key is, which is what Frostbite needs to be in full-on go mode. So Bonta is going to clean up Eastern here, and Frostbite is going to check the Hobo, although I think it was just junk. I think it was bombs, if I remember. But certainly nothing important at this point.
Yeah, I think it was like a full heart or a small key. 2 Skullbloods.
Well, part of the reason for the late flipper checks is because both runners sequence broke the flippers in GT. It was in the Dark Magician room of Ganon's Tower, which means that they didn't want to do the flippers checks because they had already sequence broken the hook shot. So I think that's one of the reasons why the flipper checks came so late for both runners. Ganon slapping some cheese facts on us. This should be a really easy Ganon fight for Bonta. Buttersword kind of makes the first 2 phases of this trivial, and he has silvers to boot. So we get some rage slashes from Frostbite. He has to know that he's behind at this point. Not sure where he's going, though. Oh, it looks like he did skip an entrance according to his tracker. It looks like, I mean, unless he marked it weird. I do see a medallion over what would have been the Dark Death Mountain connector. But no, he's going to the Firelight side of Meyer because he hasn't done it yet.
Oh no, that feels bad.
Meanwhile, Bonta on the final phase of Ganon just has to put a few silver arrows into Ganon and he will be done with this fight.
All Bonta has to do now is walk across the bridge and done, and we will have our first finisher in this loser bracket round 4. So with a time of 2 hours, 18 minutes, and 15 seconds, Bonta finishes in first place.
Get your GGs in chat.
Frostbite about to get that unfortunate news that the big key he's looking for just isn't here.
Yeah, it looks like he's going back and forth between his tracker trying to figure out what else is left.
Yeah, for Frostbite, I mean, I don't necessarily think he made the wrong choices. When you're going up against a racer like Bonta, who's just top of the list for Cross Keys runners, I think you have to make decisions to make some risky plays, to take some gambles, to skip some locations, and kind of bank on what you need not being there. And unfortunately today, that big key was just in a really easy place to get to. So I definitely don't blame him making the plays that he made. Unfortunately, we just know they weren't the right ones. So definitely GG's to him. They both played a great race. And I mean, at 2 hours and 20 minutes in, virtually a 100% seed, I feel like both runners did an amazing job. So make sure you show them some love, give them some GGs, and throw some follows their way because they definitely put on a fantastic show. It looks like Bonta is going to be joining us in chat. So if anybody had any questions or wanted to give their congrats and GGs, feel free. Hello, Bonta. GGs. What did you think of the seed? Well, and Frostbite is finally on to Death Mountain here. It looks like he's going to make that play to check these 2 spots. Yeah, the seed is very, very kind to you guys in the beginning. It kind of got trolly there towards the end with that Eastern big key progression. There was a lot you had to do there.
I have to ask Bonta, what happened in the Desert Palace area? It looked like you were setting up a death warp, but we weren't sure. I wasn't sure if you were trying to preserve your portal or what was going on there. I thought maybe you messed up the save and quit screen, or the game over screen. You maybe selected save and quit instead of just continue.
Oh, and Frostbite has decided to end his game there. Hopefully he'll come in and give us a chat.
I'll see if we're able to get Frostbite in here before I give you kind of the rundown of how the routing kind of went back and forth.
Okay, looks like Frostbite's not going to be joining us today, so if you want to go ahead and do that recap.
Yeah, so the seed started off, Frostbite got boots a little bit earlier than you, so he was able to get the Meyer Big Key off of the torch early. He was able to get that on his first trip into Desert Palace. You, however, had the mirror before he did, which kind of worked out, but Frostbite got the mirror before he needed it, really. You had early Moon Pearl. You also ended up finding the boots. So you had Moon Pearl, boots, and Dark World access way before Frostbite did. However, Frostbite made a play that got him the hammer, I'm wanting to say almost a half hour before you did, which was a huge advantage for Frostbite. So we actually kind of had Frostbite in the lead for a while. And then you got bailed out by the Death Mountain Descent connector, which put you in what would have been the vanilla laser bridge. And that allowed you to get your hammer from the Graveyard Ledge Cave, which was in the Mitts Locked entrance in East Death Mountain. So then that's when you started kind of coming back from behind, because Frostbite's go mode item was a Hera Big Key. So by the time he routed very well, but when it came down to it, when you were looking for go mode, you had pod left. When he was looking for go mode, he had 12 or so entrances left, and you were able to follow the bread. You know, I mean, by that time, you know, you do Helmasaur, you get the big key, you get the Skull Woods big key. It's just a matter of following those breadcrumbs. Whereas Frostbite kind of had to pick his poison from a wealth of entrances that were left to him at that point, and that's where you were able to kind of make up time.
Alright, so GG, well done, both Bonta and Frostbite. Thank you very much to our two trackers, Lord Xenu, and God, I know I'm gonna mess this one up. Hold on, he told us before.
Seryu X.
Thank you very much, P-Train. Either of you have any final thoughts on this seed?
No, it was really fun to watch. I really enjoyed the back and forth. Unfortunately, things didn't work out for Frostbite, but he still played a heck of a game. Really good run from both runners. I enjoyed commentating.
Yeah, for sure. I was super excited that I got to commentate this race. I know both runners are just phenomenal, and it was really fun to watch the different routing and the swag strats and everything like that. And it was just a great show. It was super fun to commentate for, and just GG's to both runners.
Yeah, and I want you to know, Bonta, I appreciated every chess turn. I saw the effort that went into them, and I just want you to know that I game recognizes game. They were well done.
Well done to
Yeah,
you.
for sure.
Go ahead. Well done to you two as well, P-Train and Jinxie. Thank you for joining us on cons for this one. Gonna send all you guys to I don't know why that race hasn't forfeited, but we'll figure that out in a minute. Gonna send all you guys to another tournament that just started. We have a Zelda 2 randomizer standard tourney that started over yesterday, actually. So we have a match in their first round of their Swiss that we're gonna head on over to. So from all of us here at ZSR, thank you very much. No matches scheduled for Cross Keys for a couple of days. I don't think the next one scheduled at the moment is on Saturday, so enjoy a few days off. That could obviously change. Keep an eye on the schedule, and have a good night.